Everything's turned on? Are you turned on?
Not yet.
I'm turned on just by looking at you guys. Well, if you turn on the mic for crying out loud, that's a dummy mic.
1, 2.
Well, pull back a little bit.
Quite a bit.
Felix, you want to check your groove out?
Hello. All right. Check 1, 2.
Yeah, pull back.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. It's just, how I do it. Yay.
No, it's all good.
Hello,
like
everybody.
That. Yeah. Okay, well, with that said, we're going to go ahead and cue Jake Castillo's latest hit single that was recorded here at the Cove, and then we'll begin the show with that said. Okay, Lee Hall, just go ahead. All that's fine. We just want to go ahead and cue that song. Number 1, number 2, and 3, 4, 5. No, I'm just kidding. Number 1 is fine. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys, you doing all right? You doing okay today? Everybody doing well?
Wonderful. Doing great.
Out of sight. Hey, guys, break up the banter over there. You're on a talk show. Mine. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good day. Good day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to session number 9 of San Antonio Musicians Talk Show Radio, sponsored by the Cove here at 606 West Cypress and Pulse Productions. You can tune in or give a listen on am1670.org or friend us at Facebook on Facebook 1670 AM Dewberry Jam Community Radio. Every Friday night at 6 p.m. and every Sunday at 2 p.m. as well. Great show we have in line for you today. Yes, sir. And aside from a Gibson Epiphone Alley Cat being auctioned off by ticket only, the staff is more than willing to help you, and the staff is the product, San Antonio Musicians Organization. We thank you in advance for the purchase of the opportunity to own this guitar, signed by all of our guests thus far. With that said, we begin the January 30th session, number 9, with Felix Truvere as co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Felix Truvere.
All right, I'm a co-host.
Oh, yeah, co-host.
Co-host.
Absolutely.
All right.
So you just, have the show all to
How
yourself.
much responsibility is regarded with co-host?
Minimal?
I hope not too much. I'm never even awake this early.
It doesn't even pay minimum wage. What do you want me to say about that?
Oh, man.
Jake Castillo in the house. Step Aside Blues Band.
All right.
Yeah, he's playing in the background. There's his favorite fan. He's got a groupie. I'm not telling who it is. The Jake Castillo Trio. Jake Castillo in the house, ladies and gentlemen. The Jake Castillo Trio, top string production off of Fredericksburg Road. Thomas Jefferson High School product in 1999, right? Isn't that right?
1992.
1992?
1992,
I
my
can't even
friend.
read.
I am also
even,
in 1992.
I can't even read my own writing.
Right.
Henry, help
Kid.
me. Henry.
Edit that out.
Henry.
All right, get it together now.
We'll do that. You and I are going to do that together, so
I
trust
was on
me.
my 4th
It
wife.
makes
Clean
you
it up,
almost
clean it
40.
Henry Brun in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Latin Players, or did you change your name on me too?
Oh yeah, what's that? Well, no, I don't think we could say that on the air.
Okay. Well, you're the Marimba King. You're the Marimba King. This cat actually is my co-host of the day, and the qualifications for that.
Make sure you call me Henry, not Coco.
Okay, yes, sir, absolutely. Yes, sir, sir with sir, yeah. Okay. But this guy, he backs up every project I do. I have no earthly idea why, but I'm so forever grateful. And, okay.
You got to pay the child support. That's
thank
why.
you, sir, yeah. And that's the only part that hurts. Texas Radio Hall of Fame. Lee Woods in the house. Give it up for this radio personality who has done it all from
Thank you.
AM, FM, internet, worldwide. This is a Texas Radio Hall of Fame cat, guys.
All right.
Don't give it up for him. I don't know what's wrong with you. How you doing, Lee?
I'm hanging in there. Thank you.
Out
Thank
of
you very
sight.
much. With all these great musicians, man, this is
What do you think?
awesome. And we got Val Moore and Eddie Polanco.
I'm telling you.
Huh?
Yeah.
Great guys. Right? Eddie's my little brother. We've been
Hey, Eddie.
working on some things.
Polanco, what's going on? Polanco.
The man.
Yeah, Eddie, it's good to
Man.
see you, bud. We didn't get a chance to shake hands. Jeffrey Charles in the house as well. With all that said, it's a good thing. We all working together here for a common cause. And so we're going to move into an interview session with Felix Truvere. Felix, you're on Facebook, and to say the least, very exciting photographs you have.
I didn't take any of them, man.
But they
I
caught you in
just see
action.
them all on there, and I think there's like 7,500 or some odd pictures
Man, I can't imagine.
floating around on there on Facebook, or at least tagged to me. But
That's a lot of batteries.
that's a real crazy situation, man. Kind of all over the place. Oh, I need to eat that microphone a little bit more. All right.
My Coco host has to get involved. I'm just waiting
Oh, I
for him
know.
to feel the groove.
Well, I'm starting to
I'm
wake
such
up.
a horrible co-host. I
you
just
know.
look at the pictures on Facebook. It's good enough. I smile.
but they're
I
not-
smile for all my pictures.
But they're not so much all about you. They're all about the girls.
No, man.
Oh, yeah.
I
There's a
didn't
lot of
say
girls
that,
in there. I
though.
saw that.
know.
My Lord.
It's all about the music, folks. All about the music.
No, this guy's a very sexy individual. I mean, you just go on his
Come
page.
on.
Felix Truvere.
Yeah, but the girls help.
Are you married? Are you married by
I
chance?
might as well be. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, pretty much. I
He
see Julie over there laughing. She
A significant
pretty much,
other.
I'd call myself married.
Good.
I'll have you guys actually play a song at the end of the show, and I wrote it especially for her. So
Oh,
it's
that's
a song I
cool.
did write for her.
Wow. So is it like an engagement tune?
Pretty
Can we
much,
go ahead and
I'd say
announce
so.
that?
Yeah, it's
We
a
can
song
announce
that just
right now.
identifies that moment where you meet that person that completes you, and everything changed.
That's like most memorable silly moment right there.
I would probably. I remember the moment very well. That is one of my most memorable moments.
Now, how long you been with her now?
I've been with her now. It's going on about 3 years. Going
All
on
right.
3 years.
So
And
by the law, it's still a fresh relationship.
still
So
a
you're
fresh
all right.
relationship. It really is.
You don't
I
know
did-
her 50% yet.
No, not yet.
About
Not
33
yet.
and a half.
33 and a half.
33.5%.
There you go.
I
Every,
can't
every single
afford
one of
that.
you folks is going to get me in trouble. Because, I'm being very cautious. I'm being very cautious. I'm
Are you?
watching what I say. I'm making sure that I steer it right back on track. How about that? I'm being a good boy. It's still early in the morning, too.
Being
true.
a musician down the road,
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna write a song called "I Can't Afford to Have My Half Again."
Oh, man. Oh, well, you know what? I'll
That's Lee
admit,
Woods
I've
talking. I would listen.
I've been married twice, man. I have.
Oh, okay, you're not
It was
a rookie.
5 years to the first.
Two-time
and
loser.
10 years to the second. How about that?
You're betting $1,000.
There's a little bit of experience there, man. But I got to tell you, it's a little different. It's different this time, man. I really feel completed. I feel like the other half of me did actually show up and completed me, man. I was able to write better songs when I met this girl, and that one being one of them. That'll be our second Texas radio
Well,
release.
that's great. That's really
you,
great to
I
hear.
put out a song for him on Facebook, the Open Rodeo Band.
Yes, the Open Rodeo. Man, I was so upset that I didn't come up with that and somebody else did.
And
The
he asked
Open
me,
Rodeo.
He said, why didn't I think of that? I said, I'm the talk show, Felix. Stay
Yeah.
out of this arena.
There you go. That's great. I'm going to have to use that, at least say it in the microphone at one of my
Yeah.
shows.
And then I have to make amends with Jake Castillo. We're moving on with a little bit of an interview. This is only a 30-minute session. You're a musician, singer, songwriter, and
That's right,
engineer. And you're also going to help me on the send on this. I'm holding you to it. We have some serious editing to do at the beginning of the show, no doubt.
We do.
We have Jake Castillo and his
The
trio.
Jake Castillo Trio.
The Jake Castillo Trio. One of these days I'll get it right.
What's that? 4 guys or 5 guys?
7? It's actually 7.
7.
Confused.
Yeah,
That's including Soundman. Any groupies?
we've got a few. My mother is out here.
All right. The mothers are the
she's a
best.
sweetheart.
She's my biggest fan.
That's
She's such
right.
a sweetheart.
All right. Now,
I had a restraining order on her, so
Yeah.
she gets out of control sometimes.
Wow. Well, evidently she can get about 25, 30 feet from you.
25, 30 feet.
That's
yes.
max.
Max.
Yeah.
Does she
that's-
call you Mijo also?
She does.
My mom calls me Mijo.
Oh, man.
It's a San Antonio thing.
I
SA
know.
musicians.
Don't you feel like one when they say so? I do. I feel like a child all over again.
Well, it depends on what follows it.
Mijo, hijo, se-
take out
hijo.
the trash.
And that's true. Some of it hurts. So, how did you get the name? For your trio. I mean, it's not real deep, but I know you are. You're a great player, and the guys that you have, who do you have on with
Right
you?
now, I've got Jerry Gutierrez on bass and Jeff Bailey on drums. And there's been a few incarnations of the trio, and so it originally started out as the Psychedelic Blues Band, and just
I was
kind of
like that once,
as we had the revolving door
70s.
of musicians, it just kind of took on my name, and so.
Well, I mean, well deserving of such. And thus far, how many original songs have you written? I know that you got a lot under your belt.
Oh yeah, we've
a lot
got
of stuff we're going to plug on the
we've
show
got
too.
Over 3 hours of originals, so.
Wow, that's a whole night.
It's a
Really?
whole night, yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys have to say about that, man? For crying out loud! How many originals do you know? There's my co-host. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My co-host, absolutely speechless. Lee Woods, help him out. Just hit him. Yeah, hit him.
3 hours of music, man.
That's a lot.
Original stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Do you go to the bathroom anytime in between there? Because I
Take a
can do
break.
maybe 2 tunes and I got to hit the
We
urine.
wear Depends on
We're
stage.
getting older.
And, you know,
So
it
you
just
do
depends
that
on the venue.
You do that Santana song then. I can't tell nobody that I got depends on. I know it well.
He didn't become a Hall of Famer for nothing, I'm telling you.
That's you know, it just helps with the marathon sets. You know,
Oh yeah.
cut down on breaks, especially
Talking
if you're
about-
playing the Cove. You know, they won't let you go to the restroom.
Oh, no. You just have a bucket on the side. Everything's cool.
Oh boy.
Wait till
Speaking
you
of-
get old.
Speaking of buckets, both my next guest and I have played on several different types of buckets. We're drummers, and I still have not learned how to tune my sticks. You got anything? You got anything for me on that?
Yeah, buy a new
Mr.
set.
Henry Brun, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Henry Brun, guys.
No, actually, the only way you could tune sticks is just by buying a new set.
To buy a new
Yeah,
set.
just throw the others
Well,
away.
there you go. That's why I have 2 sets, and I rotate.
The
Two
dude,
sticks.
the dude can't even tune his cymbals.
Oh, you know, it reminds me of this group that once was playing this New Year's Eve gig, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a polka band.
No, polka band.
You're familiar with those.
West Side,
Yeah,
certainly.
we've seen a few of those in our days around here, right?
Feel free to let them have
They're
it,
playing
Felix.
this gig, and at the end of the night, New Year's comes around. Everybody's like, "Hey, man, it's great. You guys are fantastic. We want to hire you for New Year's, and next year." And the band leader turns around, "Oh man, I'd love to do it. Can we leave the instruments here?"
Yeah, I come back in a year. I hate to tear down and set up. That's the worst part. Then again, isn't that the funniest part of the evening for us guys? Setting up and tearing down. That's when our personalities go absolutely haywire, don't you think?
No,
Doesn't
there's,
it?
yeah.
there's nothing funny about it, man. Not when you're gonna be humping gear.
That's why you should be a harmonica player.
It's funny way later. Way later.
You see the guitar player shows up. His amp is there. You see everybody show up, and I got to bring in 20 cases.
Yeah. That's why I don't use cases. I just bring the trap set.
Even then, you still got to make 20 trips to the car.
Well, that's true. You're absolutely correct about that.
That's why I play guitar.
You just bring in one Marshall.
That's why I play microphone.
What kind of guitar? What kind of guitar do you play?
I play a Paul Reed Smith
Jake?
Custom 22.
A what?
Paul Reed Smith.
Paul
Custom
Reed
22.
Smith. See these young bucks, man. We stick to Fender and Gibson.
High-
I don't know what's up with
high-dollar
that.
guitars.
Felix,
It's
what is
been
it,
around
man?
for a while, okay?
Yeah,
I know, but what do I know? I'm just
Santana.
telling you.
You're a drummer.
Yeah. I stick to Ludwig, Rogers,
It's a
and
problem. We don't know
Mapex.
these things.
And one timbale, man. I do have one timbale on my trap set.
Half.
Yeah.
Where's the other half?
Porque soy mexicano. Well, I could only afford half. I'm
Oh, okay.
Hispanic.
All right.
I put it on layaway. I only paid for one. They gave me one. The pain of it all.
That's okay. At least you got half of it.
And speaking of which, talking about the pain of it all, I have to interview Texas Hall of Fame radio personality, and here I am. Who am I? Mr. Lee Woods in the house. Texas
Yeah.
Radio Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Legend.
Thank you.
Legend, no less.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm honored to have you on today. And how's your world, my friend?
Upside down as always, man.
Side down.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like
That
He told-
black cloud keeps following me, man.
He told me he was retired.
retired.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing?
Well,
Really?
I've been working on some music. I've been doing some blues with one of the greatest guitar players in the
Talk to me.
state of Texas, Mr. Eddie Polanco, is sitting right
Oh,
out
yeah.
there.
Eddie.
Eddie and the All Nighters, of course, everybody knows.
Oh, yeah.
Been around since World War I. Shortly thereafter, when they played acoustic cigar boxes.
Yeah, he's about
There were no strings.
he's about 92 years old right now, but he actually looks like a young buck.
Well,
Young in spirit.
Eddie has played with some of the blues greats.
I'm
Has
afraid to
opened
hear.
for many great artists. But one of the things I admire most about him is when he's in a groove, he is so relaxed, man.
Well, he's asleep right now, for crying out loud. Is that his groove? Is that his groove? Eddie, wake up, man. Hey.
There's a show.
Bing, bing, bing. Okay.
There's a show that the sax students did called The Science of Sound,
The
where they
Science of Sound.
set up a bunch of bands and they recorded them and all.
I think that's us.
And Eddie and the All Nighters did a session on there that is one of the most magnificent live sets I've ever seen. I mean, the whole band was just tighter than a rubber band. And
that's a good way to phrase it.
Eddie was just floating. I mean, it was just awesome.
And Eddie is now my tocayo.
Well, yeah, that's right.
You know,
and I've been working with Eddie, doing some blues, and we wrote a couple tunes, and we're going to do a little bit more, but Eddie's been through some hell.
Well, haven't we all?
Health problems, but he's looking good, man. He's coming back.
I'm telling you, he's waking up slowly. It's taking him about 6 minutes.
Hiatus. He never took a break. He's just on break right now.
Where's my co-host anyway? My co-host is over there, I know, but where's my co-host? Did he just step off the stage? Oh, there you are.
Sorry. I just didn't want to talk on
He fell asleep on you over there.
No,
right
I
to
just
you.
did not want to.
We're like little children. We're like noontime nap.
I want to hear from you guys.
Wait till 2 o'clock comes around. That's when we wake up and really turn on.
Who made that guy co-host?
I did.
Now, before we change, man, I got a story about Eddie, man.
No, I can't.
Back in the day when
won't
Eddie was hosting the jam session at Billy Blues, you remember that?
I remember that.
All right.
Right. I would go and check him out, man, have a good time. There was this guy that would sit in and play bass. I don't know if you remember him.
A bass player?
Yeah, the bass player. He would
Good.
go and sit
I
in.
remember him.
But you know what he would do? He actually turn around and he was borrowing somebody else's axe. And you know how personal we are about our instruments.
Not me. I'm
Well, your
rattling mine
sticks.
off.
No, your sticks. That's why they're out of tune.
Hey,
so
we're
many
giving-
other people use them.
We're giving away.
But in this case,
Thank you.
he borrowed the bass from somebody. But he had this habit that he would spit on his hands and slide them up and down the strings before
really?
he started playing that.
Wow.
You remember that, Eddie?
Wow.
And we're like,
That's lubrication for you.
oh, well, that's the cheap way to do it,
All natural.
Well,
No, they sell
Okay,
spray
great.
for that now. You
I'm
spray it on
ready.
your strings and slide it up and down.
That's
You're ready
pretty
to go.
gross,
But
man. But okay. I'm a taker. I'm
Eddie
sorry.
puts condoms on his guitars now.
I let my microphone. I lend my microphone all over the
We're not going
place.
to
Yeah,
edit
it's
that
like that.
portion out.
Same thing kind of happens.
We're leaving that in. For sure. Yeah,
At least you don't have to put your mouth
Thank
on
you,
what
Al.
you share with other people. Because when I share my microphone with other guys, and I got to put my mouth on it too, and it's,
But I've never.
Poochie.
It's interesting.
it's funny. Nobody ever talks about that.
Hey, wait. I never even got through with Lee Woods. Hey, you started off as a radio personality, and then you went to a musician. Now, how did all that come about? I mean, did you just cop the groove and all of a sudden, I want to be a musician too, or, what happened?
I've always loved music. I've always wanted. I played when I was a kid. I played a little bit in the
Val
early
knows
80s.
all about that with Albert
With
Garcia. They played together. I don't want to talk about it.
No, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
As children, I'm just saying.
and there was a little band here called the Waddell Brothers years ago. Jerry and Dino Waddell.
Should have seen what I just saw.
They were crazy, but they let me play with them. And of course, I wasn't half the musician they were, but they
Really?
were so much fun to be around. Then I went through the radio bit, and I fell in love with the blues. I started hanging out at Antoine's.
Oh, yeah.
Got to be
Antoine's
good
in
friends
Austin.
with Clifford Antone, and just
Ian Moore was a good friend.
You were on the
of
radio
mine.
forever.
yeah, I
to
was
Nashville.
on a.
That wasn't a little bit.
Well, 30 years, 25, 30 years.
Wow.
And I'm still alive. And so
Praise
are you.
God for that.
But you're the busiest guy in the music business. Henry Brun's
well,
everywhere.
both Henry and Felix, they play like 4 nights a week or something like that.
Didn't you
Jake's-
play at Monica Lewinsky's birthday party in Washington, D.C.?
How did you know that?
He opened up for Monica.
Oh,
Ouch. Oh,
I heard it was the
Well,
other
with
way
that said-
around.
Have a cigar.
With that said, we're moving on to most memorable
closed
silly
for her.
moments. So I'm going to ask my co-host real quick. Felix, what did you bring to the table regarding most memorable silly moment? And this is the last segment of this. We've been doing this for the the last 2 months, and it just turned out to be a great segue.
most memorable silly moment. huh?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Without
You know,
being
I do this
tongue-tied.
little dance, and I'm so glad that I'm not the only guy that does the dance on the stage. Jeffrey Charles does. But, there's one time I do this thing where I push my hat this way, and I go that way. And then I do it that way, and I go that way. There's one time at the Longhorn Saloon in
you're a
Bandera,
director.
Texas, where I did it so hard, I almost broke my neck. I mean, seriously, you know when you do your neck too hard,
Yeah.
and then something pops in the back, and then you just feel a hot blood rush to your head.
I just felt it.
I didn't know what I was going to do. I did it this way.
I didn't even have to
And
move.
whack, and I just felt blood going to my head. I didn't know if I was going to pass out right there in front of everybody. or I didn't know what was going to happen, man. But somehow I kept going with the show. But I just remember all the blood going
Yeah.
in.
And don't you feel like your head is like about ready to explode?
I wondered if I broke my neck at that point, man. But I'd stayed singing the song. It was great.
Out of sight.
And then I had this idea, though, April 1st. I'm probably going to do it. I'm going to knock myself unconscious. I'm going to fall on the I'm going to do the whole bit. I'm going to fall down. I'm going to stand up. April Fool's, everybody. It was funny.
That sounds good.
That's kind of a joke. Yeah, I've got that going on. But I remember that happened. I don't know if that's silly or not.
No, it is. It's plenty
Almost
silly. Jake
broke my
Castillo,
own neck.
what have you got on the most memorable silly moment for him, the man, Jake?
I think this is
The show?
falls under the embarrassing as well.
Okay.
We were doing a show, Jake Castillo Trio, doing a show at Daisy Dukes in Canyon Lake, and I've got the disclaimer is we're all drug free. I promise. It's a truth. But my
God.
drummer, who will he'll be nameless today, just to kind of spare him the embarrassment. It wasn't Jeff, by the way.
It's not on YouTube?
It wasn't this guy. It's
was
not on
fired.
YouTube. But he had hurt his back, because we don't have roadies. We load our own gear. And so he had been prescribed some medication that you're not supposed to drink to. Don't drink with it.
Oh.
But we have
Like
this.
it
We tend to have tequila shots when we do shows every now and then. So it happens.
Yes.
Nevertheless,
I don't for that exact reason.
Nevertheless, my drummer is in the middle of a Robin Trower cover that we're doing, second set into the night. We're having a great time, and all of a sudden I'm ripping into this tearing solo, and the drums disappear.
He just
I
passed
turned
out, didn't he?
around, and the drummer, who shall remain nameless, was asleep behind the kick.
Oh, nice.
True story.
Listen,
now,
that never happened to Henry or I.
This
I know
is a
that
true
for sure.
story. It's
we
a
don't
true
fall
story.
asleep.
Unacceptable.
Eddie does.
Now, I hollered his name out. I said, "Hey, nameless!" And he woke up and did the vaudeville thing. And I mean, it was classic.
He didn't miss a beat.
it was classic. It was a
God love him.
reflex.
Well,
It was a
he-
reflex.
that's-
But,
Yeah.
but he answered to nameless?
Yeah, that
I'm
was
just protecting the guilty and the innocent.
and I consider what he just did is a nervous twitch. Anyway.
You do that.
Yeah, nervous twitch. I didn't mean it. Henry Brun, what's your most memorable silly moment? Because we do have to move on. We've got a couple.
Wow.
That's enough. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Well, that's it. You like,
One
you
more
like that
time.
one?
Silly,
Go ahead.
silly.
No, actually, the band's been together 24 years now. It's kind of hard to pinpoint anyone because every gig is a funny moment.
Sure.
But this one time we're playing.
You're funny right now.
We were playing in Dallas. We were going to do this grand opening over there. So we're traveling. Stopped in Austin to pick up one of my musicians and head on up. In Austin, we lose two of the guys. They followed the wrong car, and they got lost. They didn't know where they were going.
I get lost all
Okay, so that's part one of the story. So they went back to the musician's house, and the wife told them, sit here, wait till they called, and let's pray that they call soon. And they sat there quietly in the living room for about 2 hours, and they didn't get a call. So, needless to say, the story continues.
Were they actually praying?
Yeah, I don't know, but
They didn't get a call. I mean,
they behave better than 2-year-olds. I don't know what happened there. So the band continues. They gave me the wrong address. Then they gave me the right address, and then they told me take this exit, but I never found the exit. So I kept on driving, and I said, you know what? We're getting close to the time where we have to be setting up equipment. Let me call the club. So I called the club, and this is no kidding. We turn around and say, hey, I'm lost. I can't find this exit. She tells me, okay, where are you? Find me a landmark. Well, I see a water tower there that says Plano. All I heard from Neil said, Plano? You're supposed to be playing in Dallas.
Oh, nice.
I'll be a little late.
And the rest of the night continued. I mean, it was one funny thing after another.
Oh, that sounds hideous, actually. Lee Woods, what'd you bring to the table today, man? I know you've got a lot of stuff.
There's too many families here, so I have to think of a clean one.
All the kids, close your ears.
I had two guys working for me years ago at Kono, one named Johnny Rock, and the other was a blind guy named Blake Lindsay. And
Blind guy.
Yeah, he was a really good jock. I brought him in from Dallas. But Johnny Rock had a habit of him and Mr. Cuervo getting together. And I told him, if I catch you driving the station van again, drunk, I'm going to fire you.
There's Jake for you.
So he's doing a remote out at this club.
I'm still awake.
With
awake.
the blind guy, with Blake. So
Who's driving, the blind guy?
Well,
The blind
when I
leading the
stopped by
blind.
when I stopped by the club, I told Johnny, I said, don't be drinking tonight. I don't want you driving that van drunk. I left, and I knew him. So I went back to the station, hid my car around the side of the building, and I waited. And here comes the van weaving down the road. I said, that son of a biscuit.
Thank you, sir.
He's drunker than a hoot owl. So the van pulls up, the driver's door open, and the blind guy stumbles out. Johnny stumbles out of the other side, drunker. Now, so I didn't drive the damn van. I steered it, but he drove it. And they drove that thing all the way from 410 downtown.
Wow.
With him steering and Blake on the gas and brakes.
Lucky dogs. You know,
Makes
and
sense.
with that said, we'll move on to the shout-outs. And this is probably the most sentimental part of the whole show. Partner man, co-host here, Mr. Truvere.
All right, I get to make some shout-outs.
Yeah, just a quick one.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Who would you like to say hi to?
My mom and dad and my girl, man. Those are the people that take care of me all the time,
Amen.
man. I'd like to give a shout-out to Jessie, my girl, who's at home.
You sure that's not a guy?
Oh, man, you know,
I'm just
that's...
saying, man.
You know, I've got a song where I have a girl's name in it, and she gets mad that I don't say that her name in it. Well, but baby, your name is Jessie. I don't want anybody to think anything, man. I just, man, we tried to watch that movie, Brokeback. What's that movie?
I don't know.
We tried to watch it.
No.
We didn't get very
No,
far
no.
at all. I'd gone this long without watching it. And
Obviously.
I'm just curious.
Obviously,
I just
Jessie-
want to see, and it was her. It wasn't my.
No,
baby, I don't
obviously
wanna watch
Jessie
it.
is a guy.
Yeah, no, come on, man.
Jake Castillo.
I'm going to
what
show
kind
you a
shout
picture
out-
of that girl. She's a good-looking
What kind of
girl,
shout out would
too.
you like to give Jake Castillo and his trio?
First and foremost, I just want to thank God, you know, for
Amen.
There
this
you
opportunity. I
go.
want to thank you, Ed, and the gentleman. I'm up here. It's a pleasure to be up here with all this talent. And of
Incredible lineup, huh?
Of course, my mom and dad, and my girl, who's at work right now. So,
Wow.
otherwise she'd be here. And my number one fan, the real one, not my mom that has a restraining order, but my 4-year-old son Jake.
All right.
He's number
All
one.
right.
Jakey's going to be an awesome guitar player. I know that already. And Henry Brun, what kind of shout out would you like to give, sir?
Well, I would like to, but nobody's awake. That's the first
Well,
problem.
they will be on Friday night.
Then if I say mom and dad, they're in Puerto Rico. They won't be able to hear the show. You know, so.
Don't forget your probation officer.
Oh yes,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
always there for
Probation,
me.
Sure.
And the
weekly?
judge, you know, when I go and pay the child support,
Sure.
you know, shout out to them and Bear County definitely.
Oh, Bear County, big
They're
time.
number one.
Lee Woods, you got a shout out to give here?
Oh man, it's so hard. My grandson is up in heaven. It's his birthday
God.
today.
Praise God! Oh,
happy
praise
birthday
God!
to
All
your
right.
grandson, for
And,
sure.
You know,
All
he
right.
did have a tragedy a little while ago, and like a true professional that he is, he's here today. You know, just picks up where he left off, dusts himself off. But we do honor God on this show, and whoever the higher power is within us.
Amen.
And you know,
Within us, that's
you know,
right.
absolutely.
Amen.
And
Thank
so,
you.
Jake, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, sir. Lee, that is way too awesome. And again, we felt your pain, and we canceled the show for that very same reason, regardless of the fact. You know, my shout out is to Mom Ocampo and to my special agent in charge, Julie Sorrento, and my new bandmates, slated to play at the rodeo sometime soon. The Emerson's Biggins Band. I'm with Kenny Kaufman now, Jimmy Fuller, Tom Cuddy, and Rafael Avielas. And they're just phenomenal. Great players, and have a great opportunity to do some rodeo stuff. So with that said, guys, we're going to go ahead and close the show. Once again, this is session number 9 from San Antonio Musicians Talk Show Radio, coming to you from the Cove, our proud sponsor, 606 West Cypress. We're here every Wednesday at noontime. You can tune into the show by listening to 1670am.org or go to Dewberry Facebook, friend us on Facebook at Dewberry Jam Community Radio. Now, he's going to be found on 1670 AM. The other on internet is am1670.org. If I didn't get that right, please forgive me. We have a poster outside that does. Lee Hall in the house doing sound. Jeffrey Charles, Val Mora, Eddie Polanco. You know, with that said, what can I say? Lee Woods, Henry Brun,
Thank you for having us here.
Thank you. Thank
Jake
you very much.
Castillo, Felix Truvere. Guys, what a marvelous
Thank you,
show,
man.
man.
It's been a
What a
pleasure.
great
Thank you for
show,
having
huh?
us, man.
Isn't that a gas? Isn't this a gas? We have a lot of fun. We're going to AM/FM. Lee Woods will be back. Trust me.
I enjoyed it. Thank you very much. With
I'm
these
counting
great
on you guys.
musicians in the house. It's an honor.
Don't forget a great raffle going on with this USA-made Epiphone. All the cause, all the money goes to the guys right up here on the stage. And we've had now about 52 musicians in a 2-month period. It's got to be some sort of record. That's all I know.
It's a long unemployment line, isn't
Well,
it?
if nothing else, it'll be. If it's not a record, maybe we could make it in CD form.
It's not like we have
Jake,
anything to do. We don't have jobs.
Can
so
you help
come
me?
on.
We're homeless too. Felix, are you okay?
Oh yeah, man. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, hey, that's a song I wrote for my girl right there.
With that said, we're the heck out of here. God love you guys.
All right,
I know
man.
I
Thank
do.
you
Take
guys.
care, man.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh yeah. We gotta sign that bad boy. Hang on.
Daily routine can take the light from our days, but when the sun goes dark, the stars light up our way. Two spirits wandering on different streets come together as